What is up, everybody? Oh, we are just going out for a nice little ride today on a cloudy Sunday. Well, I tell you, this Louisiana weather is back. It is March 30th, 2025. It's 12:53 in the afternoon, and it is 81 degrees and partly cloudy and a little humid today. That's usually about the kind of weather we get, and all this humidity. So it looks like it might be back. I think we're just gonna go this way. We're gonna take a lap and head back to the house. I made out a test this morning, so I got that done. I just got to make sure I get to work a little early because I got to run the test off. 42 copies, 4-page test, 10 problems on there, so there'll be 10 points apiece. It shouldn't be too bad for them. Yeah, they always ask me. They'll always ask me, my students will, is the test hard? Is it hard? I said, and I'll tell them, no, it's not hard. The test is easy. I said, I took it the other day and made a 72 on it. And boy, their eyes get so big. Well, how do you expect us to do good on it if you made a 72? I said, I don't know. I guess it's kind of funny to me that they actually believe that, but they do, so. But anyway, I did grade a set of papers yesterday. I'm glad I got those done. Class average on that was a 77 point something. So I don't guess that was too bad. Now I got another set I need to grade, but that one will be easy. I don't have but 8 students in that class. I like classes like that where you don't have very many. So I hope you enjoyed that video that I posted right before this one on Saturday, a tour of our hunting camp. Now that our hunting camp was not always there. So from what I know, my great-grandfather had a camp up there, and it was on down the road a little ways. Well, not too far. It's a little dirt road you go down. It was on down there, and my dad went there when he was little, hunting up there. And I remember when I was young, when I was little, we would go to that camp. And then from that camp, they basically moved it they moved it across the road. I don't know if I'm getting these in the right order, but they moved across the road, and my grandpa and uncle and them some uncles, they put some trailers there on some land across the road, and that's where we camped there. And we stayed there for a while, and then they moved the camp up that road a little bit. I'd say probably about halfway between where that camp was and where it is now, the one you saw in the video. They had a little spot there. My grandpa and some uncles. And stayed there for a while, and I don't really know why they moved like this. I guess, I don't know. I know sometimes it would get flooded. It would flood back there, so that's probably why they did it. And I remember at that one camp, they had the trailers there, and then they had a big old tent where they had tables and stuff in there. You could go in there and eat and all that. And then, oh gosh, I don't even remember what year it was where they moved to the current location. But yeah, that's where it's been for, oh gosh, a long time. Killed my first deer up there. I don't remember how old I was, maybe 11 or something like that. Yeah, I remember my dad, I went with Dad, and there was a log sitting in the woods, and he put me on that log, and he went on down to his stand. His wasn't too far. He could walk there from where he dropped me off. He sat me down, and I bet he wasn't gone maybe 3 minutes. An old deer walked by, and I shot him. I think I was using a 12 gauge with buckshot in it. And I shot him, and I went over there and drug him up to the log. And I sat there and waited on Dad to finish hunting. So I just basically just sat there. I think I probably fell asleep some. I remember after I drug the deer up there, I was just sitting there looking around and everything. And then I saw some hogs walking by. There was a mama hog and her little babies with her. And I just watched them go by. Now, of course, back then, I think it kind of scared me a little bit. I was just hoping, don't come over here. I don't want you coming over here by me. But yeah, I remember that was my first deer up there. Got the blood put on my face and everything. So, and also when I was younger, we had that camp there, and then and we went there during hunting season. With that hunting camp, it was at at one of the other locations, and then in the summer, my grandfather, he would move his trailer to Finch Lake, and he would put his trailer up there, and we would go up there to the river during the summer. Oh boy, I remember that. We would ride four-wheelers, well, I say four-wheelers. Back then it was three-wheelers. We rode the three-wheelers all over the place. We rode them all over the hunting camp too. Now, we couldn't ride the three-wheelers in the morning or in the afternoon because they wouldn't let us because people were out hunting. But when they weren't hunting, they let us ride them. I remember me and my cousin, we'd ride all over that place. And we did the same thing up there at the river too. And I remember we'd go up there, and when it rained a lot, it would get flooded right there in front of the camp. Me and my cousin, we'd go walk all out in that water. All them trees out there, just walking everywhere. you know, that water would come up to, you know, just below our waist. And and then I remember, you know, we'd be in that water all day. And then, you know, the next day or something, we'd go out in the boat to go out on the river, go fishing or go snow ski or go water skiing. We'd get in that boat and be riding down, then you see snakes swimming all through the water. Oh, we didn't think about all that when we were young like that. When we were walking in it, that didn't cross our mind. But yeah, that was some good times back then. Yeah, during hunting season, we were at the camp pretty much every weekend when I was younger. And same thing with the river. We went up there a lot. Me and my cousin would spend the night up there. Had some good old times. Yeah, that's normally where we go for we go to the hunting camp for Thanksgiving. So my uncle, that is, if in the video I pointed down there and showed you where his camp is. I've got another video that I did where I walked from the end of the road back to the camp, and you can see the other camps there. I might post that on one Saturday too, so you can see that. And you can see the other camps. But yeah, I think my uncle that's down there, I think he is 92, maybe, something like that. But yeah, that's my aunt and uncle down there. And my Aunt Pat, that is my grandpa's sister. And out of my grandpa and his sisters, she's the only one still living. I think she's in her 90s too. So yeah, not too, wasn't, well, no, I guess it was probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I first got my drone. I remember I took my drone up there and flew around the camp. I may have to do that again, because I don't know where that video is. I wasn't very organized back then with my videos when I was doing them. And I tell you, with my drone, I had a beautiful video. When it snowed here one year, and when that snow was on the ground for about a week, it was all up on the trees and everything. And I took my drone up and flew out all over everything covered with snow. Beautiful video, beautiful. Now I can't find that video now. I don't know what happened to it. It may be on my old computer. I don't know. I might fire that old computer up and see. I hope it still turns on. I think it's running Windows. I don't remember which Windows, but it's an old computer. Old. But I still have it. I just got it unplugged. I may plug it in and see if I can find that video. Hello. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get home today and we'll go on down this way. We'll ride a little bit more. I'm enjoying this ride. Now I'm gonna get home and eat me some lunch today. Boy, he is cool, isn't he? He can mash the gas pedal. get up going real fast. He's talented. And I'm gonna get home and eat me some lunch. And then I'm getting vetted today. I joined a Golf Plus server. OG, Outcast Golf is what it's called. So they let you, you join and everything, but you can't do anything in there until you get vetted. You got to play around with one of the administrators, and then if I guess when they approve you, then you can join the tee times and the tournaments and all that stuff. I think it's not really based on to see if you play good. It's more your attitude. Do you quit in the middle of a round and all that stuff? Are you rude to other players? So I'm doing that at 3 o'clock. Oh, and last night we played Golf Plus, and I hit my 3rd hole-in-one last night. Hey. Yep, hit my 3rd hole-in-one last night. Pretty good shot. Hit it, went up there, went to the left of the flag, and there was a little slope there. I knew there was a slope there, and I hit it up there on that slope, and it caught that slope and rolled right down into the cup. My daughter, she took her last practice test yesterday. It's the math part of it. And she missed it by 6 points. So she's gonna have to take that again. And now I'll tell you what upsets me is, in order for them to do their student teaching, or they call it their residency. So at Tech, it lasts a whole school year, 3/4 your residency. And they're saying that you can't do your residency if you haven't passed all the practice tests. And she's got that one to pass. So she can take it again May 5th. But they say the scores have to be in by June 1st. And if she takes it May 5th, they say the scores won't be in by June 1st. She'll have her raw score. It'll tell her right there if she passes or not. But I guess they got to get an official score from Praxis. And so we don't know what's going to happen, but she's emailed all the people she needs to email at the school and all that stuff. Because evidently, she would have to sit out a whole year. Now, isn't that crazy? I mean, that's insane. And from what I hear, is the reason that they do that is because in the past, they have let people in residency and let them take their practice while they were doing the residency to pass it before they graduated. And and they've had a few bad apples. There's always a few bad apples in the bunch where they didn't take their practice and they didn't pass it before they finished their residency. And so now they made the rule where you got to pass it before you can do the residency. My daughter's got one test left, and I think these people that they let in before, they hadn't taken their practice at all. And she'll pass it. She'll pass the math part of it. I think she'll pass it the next time she takes it. But the score's getting in late. So you're telling me because of one test, I think she's passed 4 of them, because of one test, she's got to sit out a whole year, delay her graduation a whole year. That, in my opinion, is stupid. Why? And that, I tell you, that to me, that praxis test, I'm on my soapbox now. That praxis test that they want you to pass to be able to teach is a bunch of bull malarkey. I'm telling you. I didn't take the praxis. I've been teaching for, what, since 95, I've been teaching. I mean, come on. You don't need that stupid test to pass. It's just a way for somebody to make some money is all it is. Same thing with the ACT and SAT in my opinion. A way to make money. You want to know how good the student is? Look at their grades. Or if you want them to take an entrance exam, create an entrance exam. Hey, create an entrance exam for your school. Let them get online and take it. Or come up to the college and take it. They put too much emphasis on them things. They don't mean nothing to me. I took the ACT, so listen to this. I'll go ahead and tell y'all. I took the ACT in high school. You know what I made on the math part of the ACT? A 17. Yeah, a 17, which is not good. And look now, I'm teaching college, teaching math in college. But, you know, if I went by what the ACT told me, I shouldn't go into math. I don't test good with those. I'm not a good test taker of those standardized tests, never have been. But, you know, they like to put a lot of emphasis on it. And my daughter, when she was young, they had to take a test in, what was it, 5th grade or 6th grade or something like that. It might have been 6th grade, to tell them what they, you know, what math and English they needed to be in and all that stuff. My daughter took it, and on the math part of that test, she scored so bad that she made, she was required, she had to go into regular math, and she had to take an extra lab with it to get extra help. Well, before school started, I think this might have been 7th grade going into 8th grade. Yeah, going into 8th grade. Right before 8th grade started, I went up there and talked to her counselor. I said, I would like for my daughter to be taken out of that regular math class, just, you know, basic math stuff, out of the math lab, and I want her to put into Algebra 1 in 8th grade. So she did it. She made a B in Algebra 1. She took Algebra 2 her freshman year, took geometry her sophomore year, pre-calculus her junior year, and took calculus her senior year and passed everything. You know, she's not a good test taker. All right, well, I'm done ranting. I went down some extra roads to talk about all that. So I'm done. I'll shut up. But I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Check out my other videos. Give me a like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.